Nice. Woo. Yeah.
Folks, we are back. This lovely Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. My name is DJ TyB, the place to be. Well, the devil is a liar, so they say.
Hey.
We are right here in person. We have a very special guest for you today, all the way in Jamaica.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, 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 hey. Reggae
What's up, everybody?
Yes, that's right. Reggae sensation. Kaedi Philo. Yes.
Hi.
Mm-hmm. We are going to have a very great conversation here. You know what? I don't know. Technology has been strange of late. You know what? Anytime I'm on the show with Ron, something happens. PETRAA is not here, so maybe PETRAA has got something to do with it.
Uh-oh.
Has got something to do with this. When she
Somebody's the culprit.
Oh, yes. Folks, without much ado, we are so excited today to have Kaedi Philo with us. As I said, she has a very great track out there. And I love the track so much so that I've been playing it, not on and off the air. And I would like to have a chat with her as to how she got into the music and everything about it. On this program, it's not a gotcha program. We have conversations with artists. I'm an artist. Ron is an artist. PETRAA is an artist. So we know what to ask to get ourselves known out there, to highlight ourselves. We are biased, but nevertheless, we are going to get to the bottom of it. Folks, Ron, the floor is yours.
Hey, how you doing, by the way, TyB? Are you okay today?
Who wants to know?
Not me, but can you? How's it on the eastern side of Canada today?
Oh, it's so beautiful. It's Afrofest today. It's
Afrofest today.
Yeah, that's right. It's one of the largest African Caribbean music festivals in North America.
Why are you there? Why are you here? Why aren't you there?
Well, I've performed over the past 34 or 35 years. I've performed numerous times. So, you know what? It doesn't interest me. I would like to do it. But hey, Kaedi is here with us. And we would like to, highlight our music. So they are doing this. And we are having our Afrofest right here, too. So, you know what? It's great to have a pleasure to be with you. As always, every Saturday, I get so excited to be on this program. Just like PETRAA says, just like you say, it's a great program, and we come here to chat with esteemed artists. So it's an Afrofest right here on Love Afrobeat Music Talk Radio.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you taking the time out to have me, especially knowing that it's Afrofest today. So thank you.
And so, Kaedi, I know it's Kaedi. How do you? It's Philo. How do you pronounce your last name for us, please?
Yes, Kaedi Philo. Philo. Yeah, I was thinking of like the word philosophy or just like the prefix in general, like a love of something or an obsession with something. And in this case, it's my love of music. So I just felt like that was a proper attachment to my first name.
So it's kind of philosophical. Is that okay? Good, Kaedi.
A bit, yeah. Yes. But also just towards my approach to music in general, not just philosophy, but like how I incorporate philosophy and just everything of how I think about music and the arts. That's how I incorporate it into how I approach my music. Yeah.
Well, it's nice having you on here. I can see you smile lots, and that's great.
Yeah, I can't stop smiling.
And that's good.
It's what I do. It's what I do.
Kudos to you. So, first of all, ask you a question. I know TyB knows what it's going to be. What do you prefer, coffee or tea? No right or wrong answer.
Coffee or tea? Ooh, yeah. I'm a tea person personally. I don't drink much coffee. I think I got scarred from drinking a cup of black coffee from one time my mom gave it to me to try, like a long time ago when I was a child. And from then, coffee has never been my cup of tea. So tea is.
You and PETRAA would be getting along great.
I was going to say that.
Hey, Come
She would be
on.
going all woohoo. Like I say, no right or wrong answer. We had a guest on here a little while ago who said water. I said, okay, you're right.
Yeah, that's
True. That too.
Yeah.
That too.
Hey,
Can never go
sure.
wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, so you mentioned to me after the off the air that you're right now in Kingston. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about your growing up. I know you're from New York. You're from the New York area,
Yeah.
or I assume were born and raised there. But
Yes.
maybe you can enlighten us a little bit about how Kingston and New York fit both into your life here.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all were right about my upbringing. I was born and raised in New York, Bronx, New York, to be specific. So that was always my side of the pond. But my mom is from Westmoreland and my dad is from Hanover. Those places are separate from Kingston, but two neighboring parishes in their own right. I was always brought up listening to stories about Jamaica and just hearing about, how my dad grew up, how my mom grew up, how they met each other, going to brother and sister schools. And I've always wanted to go. And my trips to Jamaica came a little later in my life within the past year and a half, 2 years, but honestly, better late than never. My first stop coming to Jamaica was seeing my uncle, Uncle Bello, I call him lovingly, but people know him as Bubba. He works in Kingston. He's the owner of a restaurant here called Pontop Seafood Bar and Grill. If you ever are in town, come to 29 Westminster Road. Incredible food, vibes, drinks, everything. And these are mainly my stomping grounds, but whenever I can, I get to travel wherever because I have family in different places, different parts of Jamaica. But yeah.
And so, did that have much of a bearing on how you started your music career? And in terms of what you were obviously listening to, you've already expressed some of that, but maybe you could tell us about some of the things that you, like many people that we, especially artists from Africa and the likes, have grown up singing in churches and the likes of that. So how did, from say the time, whatever, you were a tiny little speck on the ground, how did music start playing a part in your life?
I feel like music has always been a significant part of my life. I saw how it influenced my dad's life. My dad's a Rasta, and he listened to a lot of Bob Marley, Brandon Spear, Peter Tosh, so many people, honestly, that they put me on. Like they put me onto the classics, Buju, Barris Hammond, Garnet Silk, a whole bunch of people. So I got a piece of Jamaican culture through that listening. And then I also grew up singing in church and school choirs. I was a really loud alto in the choir, just trying to hold my section down. So a bit of gospel also came through and taught me how to command presence as a singer and as an artist in general. And then through there, I also found other artists that resonated with me and my vocal part. I'm an alto. So more sultry voices like Sade, Anita Baker, Toni Braxton, Brandy, Layla, the list goes on, kind of informed my way. So my upbringing and me listening to music was very colorful, but these were the voices that kind of showed me the way in terms of knowing that music was a beautiful and sacred place to be in, and something that once I started in church and school choirs from single digits, it's never left my life. So yeah, from then I started singing in high school, like a cappella groups, musical theater program. I took advantage of that, whatever role I could get, I got. And I eventually got some, big roles that also helped me with my stage presence as well. I went to an a cappella program in high school called A Cappella Academy. And that foundation of a cappella instilled my love for background vocals and just, supplementing the arrangement of a song as much as the lead vocal. So a whole bunch of influences, honestly, but it paints a very colorful sonic world and how I listen and approach stuff.
Yeah, for those guests who don't know, alto is the lower voice, usually in a female, where a soprano is the higher end, and usually a choir is divided up into 4 parts: the baritone, the tenor, the alto, and the soprano. So from lowest to highest. So it's great. TyB, go ahead, sir.
Well, welcome to the program, Kaedi. It's a pleasure to have you join us.
Pleasure to be here.
Yes, seasons changing. I love it.
Thank you.
Love it.
I appreciate that, truly. Thank you.
Why seasons changing?
Why seasons changing? It came during a time in my life where I was working on music with Uncle Bello and Fata Marshall. If you know the both of them, they're incredible producers and music titans in the game. I know Uncle Bello and my dad actually, Jack Daly, if people know him, they started a record label late 80s, early 90s called Star Trail Records. And they had worked with so many great talent, Anthony B, Barris, Buju, so many people that even I, like, as of late, started to fully dive into. And so just to feel that legacy bleed into how I approach my work was always a beautiful thing. So yeah, with me working in this chapter of my life with reggae, I know that I wanted to have my love letter to reggae be the classic way. And that was a lot of the music that I was growing up listening to: Bob Marley and the Wailers, Marleyites, I-Trees, that sort of sacredness in how they sang the music. I felt it in every fiber of my being. And so during this time when I felt a little sad, as a lot of people do, but you feel like life is just piling things on top of you and it feels nonstop. And I needed to find a way to find my happiness and my spark and the things that picked me up when I was feeling down. So I just thought back to the first time I went to Jamaica and was driving through Kingston with my dad and my uncle, and we were playing my demos, the stuff that I was working on at the time, as well as other songs that, keep the city alive, and like being able to see the stories that my parents and my family would tell me kind of come to life in real time. That was a sacred moment to me. So being able to channel that in the song was something that, once it all came together, like I wrote something on a rhythm that my homie Shane brought to me. I brought it to my uncle. He wrote the second verse. And Fata, mixed everything, engineered everything, make sure that everything, sounded tight. Also, me and this woman named Sharita also helped to sing the background vocals for everything. And it was all recorded in Kingston. So it felt very full circle and very homegrown to have the track come together. And yeah.
Awesome. I love the track because you made mention of like Malayites. We're saying this, Ron and myself, most of the time we discuss stuff off before we come on the show, and I can see you going back there on this track. There's something about it that takes back to the Mali years, and you mix something, and I can feel some jazz in it. I can feel some Sade in it. I can feel so many things in it.
Yeah.
How are you able to put all of them together? Because it's a very great track, I can tell you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Honestly, with how music comes out of me, it's so natural and something that I really can't control. I've had so many influences of things that I've listened to, things that I've been a part of. I'm a part of a girl group called Citizen Queen, and we as women individually have so many musical backgrounds too, and how we come together and make our music is just a beautiful amalgamation of everything that we've learned and internalized combined. So I try to incorporate everything that I know and I learn into my music. And I think that is how I both give credit where credit is due to the path that was carved before me, while also making a path of my own, and make it me. And yeah, I just do my best to give tribute to those who come before me, while also showing everybody else what I can do as well, in my melodies and my lyrics, and just how I help supplement the song too, because the rhythm by itself is beautiful. So I don't want to do anything too much to distract viewers from, or consumers, listeners, from the rhythm. But yeah, I just see everything as one big bed that helps to carry everything through. That process is very sacred to me. So whatever I learn, I try to incorporate it and, use it to showcase who I am.
Yeah, I'm of the same thing. I when I'm writing, I put so many things together. So you cannot push me in a corner, in a box.
Exactly.
This is
Exactly.
who you are. And then you did this, this track, I won't say masterfully, mistresslessly. Very beautiful. And I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. We've got a lot more to talk about it. As a follow-up, how long have you been in the industry?
I would say professionally for maybe about 7 years now. Being a part of my girl group Citizen Queen has propelled that for me. 2018, we debuted with some a cappella covers of some of our favorite songs, and also had a medley that we put on YouTube that is one of our most viewed videos to this date, where we did an evolution of girl groups, spanning across female groups from, Mr. Sandman till now. And from there, I have developed my talents as a singer and a songwriter, gotten more into the songwriting industry, got more into K-pop too, which was a bag that I never thought that I would be a part of up until recently. But yeah, there's a girl group in South Korea called Twice that me and my homie Nina of Citizen Queen helped to pen their leading track from their project Ready to Be. It was a song called Moonlight Sunrise, and it was their first English single from that project too. And I want to say, correct, don't quote me here, but I want to say it was like their first all English single as well. So from there, I've been able to collaborate with a lot of my homies who are in the music industry, either as background vocalists, session singers, artists in their own right, and just learn from everybody that has lend me a hand. I lend them a hand. They've mentored me. Also, Citizen Queen, when at one point when we were signed to a label, was executively produced by writers like Justin Tranter and this producer duo called Nova Wave, who has helped write songs for Rihanna, Beyonce, Ariana Grande, incredible like vocal powerhouses and titans in the music industry too. So it's been a great journey, honestly. And I'm blessed to have my path to where I am right now be so unique, but also so fundamental to, how I approach music.
Amen. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Hi, Katie, you brought up K-pop music. That's interesting because I heard a world-class producer say that K-pop actually sits about 7 years ahead of what we're listening to today.
Really?
Yeah, he said that it's that far ahead of what we're on to today. So in 7 years here in North America, you're going to probably hear more of that stuff that's at that kind of way of, I'll say that genre sort of. It's just interesting. I thought, okay, that's cool. But do I really? Yeah, it definitely is. I'll say technically more ahead of what I'm hearing out right today. So, I know we've talked about seasons changing, and do you think, out of curiosity, if it was you were in New York, you could have written the same song? What do you think? Because I know Jamaica's played a really big part in this. So
yeah,
what do you think?
that is true. Potentially, but it might have sounded a bit different. Because I was born and raised in New York, you know, with not just reggae and dancehall I'm hearing, but hip hop and soul too. And also the role that Jamaicans and Jamaican Americans play in the foundation of hip hop too. So I feel like it would have been very similar sentiments, if not the same, but maybe I would have approached it with a different production. But I will say that I feel like I might have written it like maybe a bit in New York, a bit in LA, because I'm based in LA too, with my group, and also just the work that I do out there, as well as Jamaica. So I feel like although the approach might have been a bit different in terms of the production and what I wanted to say, the sentiments of feeling the need to persevere through whatever mountains and valleys I'm going through would have been the same. But it also, I feel like it came at a perfect time to where, with me in the chapter that I'm in right now, working on reggae music, it felt right to do it the reggae way, like the classic way. And that was my way of saying thank you to the culture that raised me, you know?
I'm a songwriter as well, and I've done a lot of, well, all three of us on here have done, well, when PETRAA's with us, have been in the industry. You put our years together, over 100 years of experience probably playing and doing the likes.
Incredible.
Curious to know, when you do your songwriting, we hear a lot of people saying, somebody just sends me a beat and then I write the words to it. How do you go about what's your writing process like? And some people, like Ed Sheeran, who takes an acoustic guitar pretty much every time. And then, Charlie Puth will take keyboards because he's an incredible pianist and singer. So he'll sit at the piano and write his song. So what's your approach to it?
You know, it's been a very mixed bag as of late because of the work that I'm doing as a songwriter and as an artist of my own. I definitely have been in those rooms where people just send us beats and we write on top of it. And I've also been on the hand of me just sitting at my piano in my apartment and just wanting to create something from scratch. I appreciate both ways of doing it because I see anything and everything as a way to stretch my pen and get better in whatever I'm doing. But there is something about making something from scratch that feels super organic, and it feels good in a way that maybe you stepped into a studio expecting something and you came out with something completely different, but it exceeds your expectations of what you were trying to do. So I feel like as of late, it's been a mix of everything. I know that melody drives me in whatever I do. I'm a very melody-driven person. And sometimes the lyrics come after. But I know for Seasons Changing, it was something that I had written down, like the first few lines, looking for a pick-me-up, I'm feeling down, take me for a ride around Kingston town. Those were a few lines that I had written and kind of just set aside for a moment. And I didn't necessarily have the right beat and the melody for it in the moment. But when my homie Shane sent me the rhythm, I was like, oh, this is perfect for what I wanted to get off my chest, you know? But yeah, it's a bag of everything, honestly. Whatever I can do, I feel like I'm strong enough and get stronger with how I approach the melody, even having a hand in production too. I'm getting stronger as a producer and maybe getting my ear there too. Maybe I'm not necessarily the most fast and prolific as my other homies who are super talented, but I'm surely getting there. And
Takes time.
It does take time, but I'm willing to put in the 10K because I'm trying to be a master at what I do, you know?
It sounds like you're a pianist too, and that's great. And that helps.
Yeah, it does help.
I know.
It does
help. I have 3 of them sitting right around me here. So I love doing it that way.
Yeah. Piano or guitar.
Yeah. I have one over there, and
you already know.
Yeah, I have 5 basses in the room with me. Yeah.
A bass guitar is when I want to get good at next.
I tell you,
love a good bass line.
It's what I went to university for. I tell you, there's so many songs where you hear, as an example, I was playing at a gig recently, and the drummer just went boom, smack, and the crowd looked confused. But then as soon as I started the bass line to Billie Jean, the crowd just flung onto the floor. It's just that right there says it all. I just go, okay. Because I told people, get ready, you're going to want to come out for this one. And as soon as the bass line is started doing that line,
people know
exactly.
People know what's going on.
Yeah. So I agree. The bass really has a big say. And what I'm hearing today, and this will lead on to other things here, is I'm hearing good bass lines not coming up as much.
I hear you.
There's one that, for instance, a song it's by Swims, Teddy Swims. It's called The Door. That has a cool bass line to it. And I just kind of go, hey, and it drives the whole song.
Yes.
And it's great. And with reggae, one of the most I'm part of a Facebook group I started for bass players, and I give them all these songs, and I say, here, learn these. One of the most popular songs, hands down flat, has been by Bob Marley. Can you guess which song?
Jamming?
Nope.
Stir It Up?
Nope. Good guess, though. That was a good guess. Eric Clapton redid it. And he'll even admit that.
I
Shot the Sheriff.
Wow.
And
that makes sense.
Song, and if you listen to if you listen to the bass line in that, it is killer. Whoever he had for that, and I'm sorry, I don't know who it is, he hired a great
because when you hear that and then the guitar everybody supplemented each other well in that session.
Yeah, I know. I thought, oh boy. But keeping on the topic of reggae here, then reggae, you have to admit, well, maybe you won't, is the one not exactly the most popular genre out there. I know that here in Canada, for the awards we have called the Junos, they were trying to take the award for best reggae artist out for this year awards. They're saying it's just not enough people that are doing it. What are your feelings about that?
It's funny because I do see that trend. Like I understand from a technical standpoint, I guess, why it wouldn't be as popular today as other genres. But there's something so undeniable about when a reggae song comes on. Like reggae is one of those universal languages that no matter what, even if it's not necessarily popular in the moment, it's timeless in how it comes into people's lives. And I think that timelessness and that classic feeling is something that'll never go away. So I really hope that they don't take it out, because I feel like that would be a disservice to all the work that the reggae artists of then and now have put in to get people on the same page in terms of love and unity, and whatever distaste you might have in something, and you choose reggae to be the channel to talk about it. It might not be popular at the moment, but it will always remain a classic and timeless genre that should never, and I don't think will ever go away. So
yeah, one more question here, TyB, if you don't mind, and that is,
go ahead.
I hear a lot of genres that move along. If you listen to the 70s, the 80s, and listen to pop and rock, and you can see how it's developed all over time. In the last 10 years or so, it seems they're going back to the 80s. Do you see the reggae making those changes as with time, or is it always going to say people always seem to refer to, and rightly so, Bob Marley? But do you see other artists that are making this genre move a little more forward in terms of how it sounds, and so it's not sounding like it did 50 years ago?
I think I know that, and thank you for making me think. But I think that history repeats itself. And so whatever we leave alone 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now will always circle its way back around. And I do think that what I love about music is that it's ever evolving. So people will find ways of incorporating the old school into the new school and make it, sound new. Like, for example, I know Lila Ike did a song with Masika recently, and she did what's the name of the song? But it was like, I'm on a romantic girl. I'm talking to my baby down at the yard. Not necessarily reggae, but just an example of such. I think people will never forget something real that took them like the first time that they listened to it. And in terms of people who are pushing the needle, I think that in the waves that music in general is being consumed, maybe that reggae is in a little dip, but I do think that it'll come up soon. Coffee's back on the scene. And I think is dropping music soon. And I know that Protege is dropping stuff. Lila Ike is in the middle of dropping her album. Chronics, I believe, is coming back on the scene too. I do think that people, I be forgetting me as an artist, but also the artists that I listen to, that you have to live some life a little bit before you come back with something substantial that will rock people. And sometimes life has a way of, telling you that you gotta go through some things and learn some lessons. And maybe in the lessons that you learn, you make the most substantial music in your life. So I have no fear and no doubt that in due time, especially with the ways of the world right now, people will need those avenues and those pick-me-ups and those ways of returning to center. And I think reggae does an outstanding job of doing such and keeping your spirits high. So I think it's only a matter of time before people turn to music like that again to uplift themselves.
Fair answer. TyB, go ahead, sir.
Wow. Folks, we are in conversation with the amazing sensation Kaedi Philo, all the way in Kingston, Jamaica. It's a blessing to have this conversation because you know what, folks? There are a lot of talents out there. But you know what? It takes one to know one. If you see one, you know one. I'm an artist. Ron is an artist. PETRAA, artist. So whenever we come here, every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we come here to chat and to know how people within the fraternity, take. You know what? My question to you will be, what challenges have you faced in your career, and how did you overcome them? Because this industry is not easy.
No,
it's not an
not
easy.
at all.
So, could you please enlighten us on that, please?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, this industry is not easy at all. People just think that you just come and sing a la-di-da and you come to enjoy yourself, but the business aspect of everything is hard. You got somebody trying to take a piece of your scent that's already divided. And especially with the way music is consumed nowadays with streaming, you get a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a cent for every stream that goes through. It's not like back in the days where you buy a copy and that money is whole and goes up more or less to your team. But there's that, and there's also the fact that I'm a woman navigating everything, and I'm grateful to have people surrounding me that believe in my talent and also help me fight for not necessarily fight, but get a seat at the table and to be heard and to be seen, because sometimes people see you and automatically assume things, so they don't know what messages you have to offer. But I'm grateful that my art and the songs that I have to sing and the messages that I have are undeniable, and I feel like they're things that I needed to hear myself, so I know that somebody who's listening to me definitely needed to hear something. And hopefully that takes me through. But with the business side of everything and encountering people that may be jealous of what you have to offer and may want a piece of your pie, unless you're very grounded and surrounded by people who remind you of who you are and why you're here, it can be easy to give up. It can be super easy to just call it quits and let go of everything. Also, I think with the way people consume music nowadays. Once again, you have all these attention spans shortening, and you get these quick trending moments here and there, and you really have to sustain yourself and make sure that you ride that wave of momentum. Otherwise, it feels like everybody has forgotten about you. So being able to stay grounded in that and know that even amongst, yes, we ride whatever waves we have to, you know, stay on people's minds and timelines, but also sometimes life just has to be lived. And just know that whatever you have will withstand the test of time. I always think that real music will always have its place no matter what. No matter how it feels like it's futile or feels like nobody's listening, somebody is listening. And what you have to offer helps someone in their time of need. Like people coming to me personally, saying that my song and my work has helped them through difficult moments in their life. People come up to me crying. Those are the moments that matter to me amongst all the rah-rah, all of the noise that's going on in the world. And I think sometimes with the trajectory of certain artists, you think that, yes, of course, I would love to have everybody on my train and to, you know, the more the merrier, sure, please come along and follow the journey. But people also have to remember that the human to human connection is what makes you human. And it's what reminds you that you are doing your work. And that has come to me in my journey, and especially as of late with the chapter that I'm in right now. So that reminds me to keep going no matter what.
Awesome. And then how do you stay motivated and productive in this jungle of things that we are facing, in our personal lives? How do you stay motivated?
Yeah, it's a bit hard because life, life is, you got to live it every day, and life will give you 1,000,001 reasons to call it quits, whether it be personal or public battles, financial problems, whatever the case may be. I find that listening to music and listening to the artists that got me to love music in the first place always kind of brings me back to center. Before I was an artist, I was a lover of the arts, period. So whatever brings me that type of joy, that joy in the songs that I hear will never run out, thankfully. So, when I go to those, it always reminds me that I'll be okay. I think talking to family, my parents are, and just my family in general, are beautiful reminders of me being a student of life and a child to the universe, a child to God, period. And whenever I rant to them or just talk to them, they seem to have the right words to say, even if it might not be the right words in the moment. Sometimes they always have the right words to say to, allow me to zoom out a bit and to take it easy and to not take life as serious as it's definitely set up to be sometimes. Tapping into friends and family, and also just knowing that it takes a village and a community. I think for a while, I'm a very independent person and I love to hold my own and be self-sufficient, but sometimes you need your community to lean on. So you call somebody whenever you're feeling down, and you take that walk with them, and you talk, and you go to the beach, or you go to that place that gives you joy. And you remind yourself that you will be all right, and whatever unfolds in your life, they will unfold, and you will get through it day by day, regardless of how you feel about it in the moment. Life has to be lived. So community for sure, and music is my grounding focus and keeps me motivated too.
Very well said. Ron?
Oh, you're muted, Ron.
I know. Yeah, I know. I'm muted on purpose because sometimes I'm shivering. I've got paper in front of me.
So I feel you.
Yeah. So can you tell us? You mentioned the bio that you sent to us that more music's on the way. Can you give us a sneak peek into the vibe or the message of what's coming next?
Well, with this chapter of my life being reggae, definitely a whole reggae project or two will definitely be on the way. The times that I've been traveling back and forth between here and the States, every time that I come to Jamaica, I work on some music, something that's on my mind, something that, you know, I think that recording here keeps the process sacred and keeps it close to the objective that I'm trying to do, which is just to big up the culture that has raised me and to say thank you as always and to be in gratitude. So I have like an album's worth and a half of material and I'm still working. I keep on working because other than getting a project out, music is one of those ways that I'm able to channel my emotions, my thoughts, my messages of love and unity. So hopefully a few singles on the way. I'm still promoting Seasons Changing, but I have some Lovers Rock stuff. I have some more spiritual, sacred things. My uncle had brought about like a more Nyabingi feeling type of beat too that I've worked on as well with some more heartfelt messages. I have a more old school dance hall, sing J type of feel too, which I didn't think that I would get into, but I'm kind of surprising myself in the way that I approach it. And yeah, just always working, but hopefully a few more singles and then a project or two. It's just a matter of, I guess, what songs belong in what project and, you know, but I think it's a good project. It's a good problem to have a surplus of good songs that speak to the soul, and how to package them is the next step. But yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that the only thing that I've seen, I could find, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, and please do, the Seasons Changing is what I could find on Spotify. What else do you have out there that I maybe have missed? Because I looked you up and that's all I could find was that one song. So
yeah. So because this journey is a bit new, because I just dropped Seasons Changing in April, that will be the only reggae song that you have up. My work with my group Citizen Queen is up. Our whole discography from the covers that we started with from 2018, 2019 to now. We also have original music. It's more pop R&B, but it's, I think, a really good, beautiful canvas of all of the inspirations that we have. It's 3 women, me and 2 other women, and our inspirations and how we listen to music are all different because I'm from New York. There's a girl from the Bay Area in California. There's a girl from Missouri. So we all have different backgrounds. But when we combine it together, it's a really cool and unique picture of how we're doing things. And we're still working on music too. And going back to what got us into music in the first place, which is just our love for music and a cappella. So yeah, Citizen Queen, if you look that up, you'll see my contributions to a girl group, and just a different light of Kaedi, because I'm a multifaceted artist, honestly, and I feel like a lot of my work spans across a whole bunch of genres, and it's a journey that I'm excited to, and I hope to let people in on the more that I work on music as time goes by, to find those pockets where I'm able to combine all my passions of genres into one nice little picture. But yeah, Citizen Queen, you'll find that on streaming platforms, and then just Kaedi Philo Seasons Changing for now, but that will change coming soon. Yeah, just stay tuned.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So I know you're saying under your name, there's just this one song. Are you planning to release an album, do you think, or is it just going to remain in singles? There's pros and cons to both. I've heard.
True. I think a couple more singles for sure, just to put me on people's radar. Like, hey, it's me. I'm here. But eventually a project for sure. I love an album. I love a project, and a cohesive body of work is how is one of the the most instrumental ways that I get put onto people. And I love how they bring about a story into a project. So that's ultimately the goal, to bring people to that sonic world, with more songs than just 1, 2, 3 little singles that I'm just dropping, you know? I want people to see the whole picture as to why this is the chapter right now and why I'm so immersed in it. Because it's more than just a couple songs just to feel good. It's a whole spiritual process that got me through the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And I'm a student of this game, you know, and I intend to be for as long as I possibly can. So yeah, definitely an album, couple singles first, but an EP and then an album, I think, is the projected timeline for right now.
Yeah, I've been playing for over 45 years and I'm still a student. So yeah, you want to keep learning. I think, you know, releasing an album is going to certainly get you more airplay in terms of being on, I know, TV shows and the likes. They always show the album that an artist has released rather than just this one single.
Yeah.
So yeah, projects like that are really helpful and beneficial to the artist as well. So TyB, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you are educating myself and listeners around the globe right now. What advice would you give to a new person, a younger person, or somebody who wants to enter this industry? Because there are so many pitfalls, just like I said before.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to that people who want to get into the industry? Apart from, you know, going there, you know, the glamour and, you know, making one single or thinking that, okay, you know what, I'm going to make that because that person has made it and stuff like that. Right?
True.
What advice would you give?
Other than the default, like, do it, because I know sometimes that initial, like when you fall into something, that initial fall, you're really scared of if you're going to be caught or not, or if people are, you know, I think releasing music in general can be a very scary thing, especially if you're a person that music is very sacred to you. So it's sometimes scared to show people that vulnerable side of yourself. But I promise there's a story that will reside in somebody's train of thought. Like, people will relate to it a bit more than you think. And if people don't relate to it, I think people are itching to hear a story, period. I know I am. So do it and don't think about what will happen after. Just do it and like make it exist first, and you can make it pretty later, is one of the things that I keep on trying to remind myself as a perfectionist and an overthinker. And then also find the thing that makes you you. Find the melodies, the approaches, the type of music, not necessarily genre, but just your sound that makes you you. Because I think that, you know, music, in my opinion right now, it can be very saturated. And there can be a lot of carbon copies of things out there. So if you're able to find what makes you you in your approach to it and just your overall sound, people will be able to pick apart, like, oh, you do the specific riff, or your tone and your timbre and the emotions that you bring whenever you tell your story. That sits with people more than just a little song that gains a little bit of traction and then people forget about it. People stick around for the story and the skill that you yourself as an artist has to bring that no one else does. And once you find it, you cherish it and you ride with it till the wheels fall off. And I promise you, people will hop on board too.
Thank you. Like I said, I have learned a lot from you, from your outspokenness, and you know what, you're going to go places, and I would like to let you know that season changing is a blast.
Thank
and
you.
Support you, play 24/7.
Thank you.
Talk radio, and you know what, I would like also to take this opportunity to thank Elite Music,
Yes.
You know, Ras.
It's highlight music, I want to say.
Highlight me. I call elite because they're elite.
But yes, exactly, because it's elite too.
That's right. Ras is a brother.
Yeah.
And you know what? Everybody out there working for them, I appreciate what they do. We share the same thing in common. And so, you know what, bringing the music and the people behind it in the upfront so that people will be able to appreciate what God has given them to give. And because you know what, music makes us cry,
Yes.
it makes us smile too.
Mhm.
You know, well, I have all these questions because there's nothing more that I can ask you right now because you said it all. You've impressed me this afternoon. Among one of the
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me, honestly.
so
It
It's a
sounds like
pleasure.
you're on a good track. That's the best thing, you know. You're,
Thank you.
you know,
Yeah,
and
I feel like I've been blessed to be surrounded with really good people who believe in the vision that I have to offer and just want to help me bring about, getting it out there and just bringing it to life. But yeah, big up to Uncle Bello, Bubble, Fata Marshall, the whole 29 West Productions, and everyone who supported me. Citizen Queen back home, I love you. My mom and dad, I love you back home.
Fatima
Big up
Show.
all of Jamaica. Yeah, it's honestly, I'm grateful for how music has brought me this far because I was once like 10 years ago thinking, oh, I want to do this, but with the trajectory of how music can be such a wild card, and you hear these stories of people like me who have a dream and things don't work out and how they take it afterwards. You never know, you really never know, but it's also a chance that I'm willing to take because it's one of the best ways that I'm able to channel myself, and I don't see myself sharing my gift in any other ways. Like this is one of those ways that I feel close to the divine, like, and I can't have it any other way. So what I'm gonna do.
yeah. Ron, I would like to ask this question on behalf of Petra. She likes that question.
Hmm.
How do you see yourself within the next 5 years?
Uh, Good question. I see myself on bigger stages for sure. Um, with a band, because live music is one of those things that I hold near and dear to my heart. It's one of the ways that I find myself in love with artists that I just may have maybe liked beforehand. And I definitely see myself as one of those artists that commands myself and the people who listen to me. A few accolades under my belt wouldn't hurt, a little Grammy. Although it's not like the epitome of what I'm searching for, but it would always be nice. Um, Working on music with people, like as well as me bringing my music to life, bringing other people's music to life, because I'm in love with the process. Period. I love, you know, being in front of the camera is cool, but I also love the behind the scenes. And I've also found that as a songwriter and helping bringing some of my homies' projects to life too. Like, I just love the process. I'm in love with the process. No matter how mad, frustrated, out of it I can feel, I always find myself falling back into it. So yeah, being a trusted ear that people confide in, um, maybe even soundtracks for movies. I want to dream big. I want to do whatever. Whether I land a track on a soundtrack or help with the making of it. I just want to be a further extension of music and all it has to offer. But definitely stages, some accolades, a few projects as well, whether it be EPs or albums. And yeah, being a trusted ear in the industry that people can go to for some real discussions and opinions.
And I know
With
it's I know it's
music.
I know it's going to happen. Keep on doing what you're doing. I
Thank
mean,
you.
like I'm saying, I'm going to say that this on air right now that I love that music. So I will implore everybody out there to go check it out because
Thank
it
you.
takes you. There's something about it. It's like I said, there's something about the track that I'm still trying with my years, in this industry. I'm trying to find what it is. There's something beautiful about it, and you know what? Keep on doing it, and we will
Thank
do
you.
our part to support you, and then do whatever we can to do that. On that note, Ron, if you have a final question.
It sounds. I don't know if you saw TyB and I both reacting the same when you said to stand on more stages.
Yes,
Because he and I are both advocates
that's right.
for
You're right.
people being on stage, because
Yeah.
that's where you're going to, I don't want to say make the money, but it really is where you get to see the eye to eye of the people
For sure.
and their reactions.
For sure.
One of the things I'm noticing in some artists, and here's what I've noticed, here's my little trick, and you can take it or leave it. I've noticed that the best artists are able to do one little thing, and maybe this will help you in the future, is that they do this little, it's called the tri-loop twist. You can name it anything you want, but it's in a hook. If you'll ever listen to good hooks in a song, they'll sing it 3 times and then follow it up with some other phrase.
Yeah.
And that to me will almost, it's not going to get you guaranteed hook, but guaranteed sales, but it's the way to start. I see some people, they sing, I've seen so many demos come to me and I'm kind of going, where's the hook? I won't even remember this song. And I've heard, there's a song I know that I share with some people, and I tell them, how many times did you hear the hook? And they come back and they say more than 30 times. I said, oh, yeah. And will you remember that song? Yeah, exactly. So I hear that with some artists we have on here, I'm kind of going, where's the hook? I'm not going to remember this song. So that's one thing. I heard one guy, a producer, he keeps saying it. It's called the tri-loop twist. It means sing 3 and then sing something else. Because most things in music tend to be some multiple of 4. And I've noticed that. But no hook, and your song will fall flat most of the time.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you. Yeah. I think subconsciously too, it's come to think of it, it's something that I look forward to, something catchy that brings me in. And I'm a person who loves the free form, so the verses don't even have to follow a necessary like A-B type of rhyme scheme or format. But as long as you have a good hook that pulls me in, I'm settled. I'm there. So thank you for that. I didn't know there was a name for it. Tri-loop twist.
Well, that's what this one producer I've heard, who's done a lot of big names, and he keeps saying, if you don't have something people are going to remember, they're just going to go to the next song and they will never remember it. So just food for thought. And that's the only way I'll take a song from somebody, if I'm helping them with the production, the writing. Said, make sure you repeat that hook and say it again and sing it again, just so that people will do that. This is you can take it or leave it. I mean, that's just.
No, I love it. Would you start the song with the hook too? Because I kind of like when songs start with hooks.
Yeah, you can start them with a hook, or you can leave that till after the verse. It's when we can have a pre-chorus, but when it comes to that hook in the song, it better stick out. And that's why some of the biggest songs that you'll hear in the industry right now are ones where you'll go, oh, I know what that one is. I knew Flowers was going to, for instance, when Miley Cyrus came up with Flowers. As soon as I heard it one time, and I said, that's a hit.
Oh, yeah.
And it was obvious why. I just thought, there's the hook. And not only that, if you listen to the bass line in it, it is killer. It is so awesome. It is, I mean, if I can play it note for note, I know it.
Absolutely.
And it also has real musicians playing it. There's another key. Yeah.
Can't beat a live band.
Yeah.
Live music. It's true.
If you use samples, to me, that's not human enough. You get real people playing behind you. Bob Marley, who do you have playing behind him? Real people. Yeah.
True. I hear you. I like all parts of the process, but I do find myself gravitating the most towards live feel, like live music. So
there's a lot of interaction with members on the stage and with the crowd.
Yes.
And you'll knock them out. I have a friend who plays with Bryan Adams, and that performance, he's tours all over the world and books out. The crowd sings the whole song before he'll give one word, and then they'll start singing the whole song with him. There's a hook.
True.
And that is the way the industry is heading towards, because the AI thing and stuff. That's where if you can't perform live on stage, you don't belong to this industry, because that's where it's working. So thank you, Kaedi, for in this time with us. You know what? We had that technical glitch, but hey, we do not always give up.
Come on.
This is where we are, because once we're going to have this conversation, we'll have it. And then we're so glad that we've been able to go through this. And how can people reach you, or how can people, get in touch with you, your music, what have you? The floor is yours.
Yeah.
Take as much time.
Appreciate you. Thank you guys again for having me. It's been a blessing. It's been a pleasure. Like you said, no matter what, will not give up. Okay. You can find me on Instagram at Kaedi.Philo, Kaedi.Philo. And you can find me on Facebook, same way. Twitter, I believe, or X is like KD Philo. Make it easier for some people because my initials is also KD. So, but yeah, Kaedi Philo, Kaedi Philo. And if you want to follow up with any opportunities, any bookings, or anything, you go to 29westproductions@gmail.com. 29westproductions@gmail.com. But
I
yeah,
just followed you on Instagram.
yay! Stay tuned for everything. I'm really excited for what's to come.
That's right.
Honestly.
Okay. You know what? Thank you once again. Thanks, Raskash. Thanks to everyone out there in Jamaica. We have so many listeners listening to you from around the globe right now.
Yeah.
And you know what? We appreciate your time. Come back again anytime.
Hey, anytime y'all want me, I'm here.
This is your radio station as well, because this radio station was set up just for this, to have interaction, and it's a not-for-profit radio station. If you want to come out there, we are here 24/7. So you know what? Come back again. You have a family.
Absolutely.
So,
thank y'all for having me.
And I promise we are going to promote the song Season Changing. I love it. It's my track of the year. Folks, until then,
keep smiling.
I will. Can't ever stop, no matter what.
That's right. Folks, until we meet again in about 2 weeks, because next week, Saturday, we are having an event, Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. It's going to be our 4th anniversary, dishing out scholarships to students going into the university and those who are in the university. We've been trying to do that over the past 4 years. We've given out 10 scholarships to help out. It's nothing, but it's something. That's our great responsibility.
Good.
And we've been doing that out of pocket sometimes when we started it. But we feel that's what we are here for the community and for everybody out there. We also have a food bank that we provide to needy parents and needy people who want something, right? And also we feed the homeless. We also, do Christmas parties for parents, who are not able to afford toys for kids during Christmas time. As a matter of fact, we don't give toys or gifts that has guns or that has educational stuff. So that's what we do. So next week, Saturday, we are going to have this Be the Light Youth Summit, which we have been doing over the past 4 years. So folks, if we don't hear from us again, take care of yourselves and each other. Until then, it's me, TyB, Ron, and PETRAA, and Kaedi. Have a wonderful time this summer. Bye-bye.
Same to y'all. Have a good one.
Bye.